What I've tried since she's been little, since she's been growing up, is she has to speak for herself. I could be out there talking my head off, but unless it's coming from her, it's not going to be taken as seriously. I think what this group does here is great. I think getting all people involved from whatever disability that they have, I think this talk was great. It helps to open up everybody's perspective, everybody's eyes to what's involved. But I think as a parent, the only thing I can do is to support her to speak for herself.
Because I think in the past, it was professionals, kind of coming in and providing training for my staff, giving ideas on how we should treat people. It didn't stick. I think if the people that are actually receiving services, wanting support or needing this kind of support, really, if I can help them stand up and take more ownership, so that they feel more comfortable addressing their needs, that's when we'll see long-lasting change.
The moment you stop speaking up for yourself, is when people are going to be able to walk all over you, and I've seen it a lot where persons served or people with a disability who are not vocal, they get taken advantage of.
I have become more cautious and unfortunately more leery of people to a degree, but I also know that if I don't get out there and try to make the effort, that nothing is going to change for me, no matter what it is.
But I think the hardest thing is to realize that they're an individual and they're an adult. I think having to be in a wheelchair, not being able to do things for themselves, I think a lot of parents and people in general think of them as infantile. Therefore, they're immature, but it's not necessarily so. And we have to realize that they're mature adults that can think for themselves. They may not be able to do for themselves, but they can think for themselves.
One of the things that I've tried to do in my own way is advocate about all people with disabilities, and say, hey, we're people first. We have the same feelings you do, the same about the same sort of things, and really stress why. And you're going to have some people that understand and some people that don't, no matter what you do. But I think we're all still trying.
Part 6, continuing the dialogue.
And I think part of the, what we, as an industry that supports people with disabilities, we need to be able to figure out how to support people in keeping that discussion, on the table. That's my biggest fear about this whole situation, is that we'll have a lot of talk. A lot of people will get very excited about this as a topic, and there will be in services, and there will be opportunities to answer questionnaires and do surveys. But if we don't do anything with that information, if we don't really keep it.
If you don't have people around you, be they a parent, teacher, whoever, that you don't feel you can bring these topics up with, then you need to talk to a friend, or you need to talk to somebody that isn't as frightening to some people with disabilities, and have, as much as possible, it may mean having more than one conversation, or building trust with somebody and having an open dialogue about whatever issues are going on in their lives and what they would like help in trying to solve.
We're discussing possibly having like a 1-800 number where people who are disabled, where they can call and talk to somebody and ask questions on any subject they would like, and then besides this workshop that we did today, we're talking about possibly expanding this to other parts of the county.
Yeah, you can have one voice in one corner, another voice in another, and all around the country you can have little voices. And, well, the little voice isn't really going to get heard as well as a group voice. And I think People First and the Leap here in SLO are really good steps to get things heard.
If we're more out there, showing people that we can have relationships and we can have children and we can have sex, if we choose to, that maybe people eventually will become more open to us.
And if somebody asks you a question, and you feel comfortable answering the question, answer it. But like tonight, maybe instead of trying to sugarcoat the language and the topics, if you get asked a frank question, give a frank answer. Because once they get over the shock value of whatever their perception and their assumption is, you'd be surprised how many times the light bulb starts to go on.
I think wholeheartedly, though, the group as a whole, if they stay together as a group, I think they'll take this far. I think they'll open a lot of people's eyes and their minds and help them to understand that, everybody deserves a loving relationship.
I am so happy you got here.
See, I love her. I get her a kiss. See, give me a kiss. See, I love her. I'm not joking. I'm serious.
Directed and shot by Rhiannon Gutierrez. Edited by Alex Lotz. Additional filming by Kellen Schneider. Voiced by Claire Franke. Speakers in order of appearance: Sam Durbin, Jennifer Dwyer, Nick Bohm, Eileen Graham, Daniel Bunker, Jody Barker, Ray Castro, Juanita Voltero, Margaret Green, Ronnie Smith, Erica Martinez, Joshua Miller. This film was made possible by funding from People First of San Luis Obispo. The conference and interviews were recorded during the Healthy Relationships and Sexuality Conference in April 2010 in San Luis Obispo, California. Special thanks to David Miklas, Carl Lopez, Kellen Schneider, Sam Durbin, Pathpoint San Luis Obispo, David Junker, all the people who attended the conference in Grover Beach, San Luis Obispo, and Atascadero. Copyright 2010.